Hello. Uh, today's I'm going to discuss about the vehicular pollutions and what are the source and how these pollutions are increasing in our country and also the future problems and impacts on the environment. So now this is a overall framework or a model that is called also Merkel model, and it is basically a modeling and how from this you can see that how this uh, environmental pollution and norms can be monitored or controlled. So this is basically a block diagram. So that is the energy system and sectoral fuel wise energy consumption. So total consumption sector wise, like auto sector, power sectors, steel sectors, and domestic use, like that. So that are the sectors wise energy consumption and emission model. This is the technology development, the what kind of technologies are growing day by day, and they are maintaining the emissions factors. That is, so this is air pollution emissions and allocations. These are the allocations. Okay, so basically this is the model of air pollution. Now the sector wise capacity of different sectors like wind power sector, biomass sector, small hydropower, solar power, waste to energy power, tidal power, and geothermal power. So that is the capacity of each and every sectors to produce the energy. This is the power generation capacity of every energy source. In the y-axis, you can see the gross gigawatt power generation in gigawatt power generation quantity, and this is the time to time year changing. This bottom side blue is denoted as the coal energy. So coal energy power is increasing day by day. That is, you can see here, that is the 2001 to 2, 2011, 12, so 2021 to 22. Now we are standing in this position, but after 10 years we are standing this position. So demand of coal is increasing day by day. And one more thing, you can diesel green band, very small. It is now very small. So consumption of diesel will be decreasing day by day. Similarly, some other energy producing procedure will increase, like wind offshore, that is increasing. Solar power, the red color solar power, this demand is also increasing by 51, 52. We are producing huge amount of power or energy by the solar power system. So our future scope is not in diesel or petrol. It will turn in solar power energy, tidal energy, wind energy, like that. That means the non-conventional energy sources. CO2 emissions level. We all know that the CO2 is very harmful. Main constituents of the air pollutions, we know that the carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, hydrocarbons, and also NOx and sulfur and the oxides of the sulfur. So these are the main constituents of air pollution in our environment. So we can see here that from 2001 to 2051, the CO2 emissions is increasing exponentially. So the releasing carbon dioxide is increasing in exponential series. This is also one important graph, also interesting. This year-wise on-road vehicular stocks means how many vehicles are running on the road. In 1980, you can see the on-road vehicles at the very less. Now we are standing here near about 200 millions vehicles. So 200 millions of vehicles are moving at now in our country. But you all know after this pandemic situation, the sales of vehicles means personal cars will be increased very rapidly. So car sales will be increased much more as the prediction before 2020. Okay. Two-wheeler, you see the projection of two-wheeler. That is huge, 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 huge projection of two-wheeler. So in two-wheeler market is Indian future market. We have to understand this thing. The two-wheeler market is the future of Indian market, Indian auto market. This is also distribution of on-road vehicles by types of past and future years. In 1981, two-wheeler are only 59% of total vehicles. In 2011, the 70% is occupied. 70% vehicles are now two-wheeler vehicles in India. In 2031, almost 66%, but LMV increases 5%. Car, jeep is also almost fixed. And in the year of 2015, the two-wheeler percentage will be decreased like 56% of the two-wheeler as the prediction of 1951, because at that time the economy will much more stronger than present situations. So everybody can purchase four-wheeler, not everybody, maximum number of people can purchase four wheeler their own cars. So that's why the sales of two-wheeler in respect of percentage will slightly decrease at the present situation. Now this is the NOx emission. So we know that the emissions, what are the emissions? I have told that the main constituents of emissions are the hydrocarbon emissions, carbon monoxide emissions, and the NOx means the oxides of nitrogen emissions. So these are the basic types of constituents which are emit from a vehicle. Mainly NOx formation is increased when the temperature peak combustion temperature of the engine is increased. So, and one more thing, vice versa, if we increase the engine peak combustion temperature, then carbon monoxide and hydrocarbon emission is decreased, but oxides of nitrogen or NOx emission will be increased. So this is a huge problem, and to balance both carbon monoxide and hydrocarbon and NOx in in a current in a stable conditions. Now you can see that in 2001 the emissions kiloton per year is near about 1000 kiloton per year NOx was emitted, but now the NOx emission has reached in 4000, means the 4 times in 20 years. So this is also a very important factor we have to consider to reduce the NOx in future for our future generation. So that's why the BS6, BS4 and BS6 concept has came. In BS4, you know that EGR and SCR both are used to reduce the NOx emissions. It it basically drops the peak combustion temperatures to control the NOx emission, but not too much drop, because if you drop the too much, if you drop the temperature, peak combustion temperature too much, that means hydrocarbon and carbon monoxide emissions will increase rapidly. So you have to control both car control both carbon monoxide, hydrocarbon, and NOx emissions. So you have to balance of all. You can see here major pollutant NOx pollutants are emitted by trucks. You see this purple color, this is the pollution or pollutant emitted by the trucks. PM2 means particulate matters 2. It is one very small nano dust particles. There are so many norms of dust particles or particulate matters, just like PM 2 micron, PM 1 micron, PM 0.5 micron, PM 10 micron, PM 1 2. Basically, pollution norms are considering PM 2.5 and PM 10 microns. These are the two basic parameters. So PM 2.5 emissions, you can see in 2001, the norms, the PM 2.5 emission near about 200 kiloton per year. But at now, we are standing at peak point, that is 350 kiloton per year. But after using the BS6 norms or BS6 norms emission control device like both EGR and SCR process, catalytic converter, and so many process are there, charcoal canister, and so many environmental controlling devices, pollution controlling devices are installed in BS6 norms. The pollution of PM 2.5 is decreased after the 2021, and you see the here again the truck. So trucks are the basically major pollutant or pollutant emissions vehicle. Carbon monoxide emissions. We know that these three pollutants are most dangerous. One is carbon monoxide, hydrocarbon, oxides of sulfur, nitrogens of sulfur, and also uh, sulfur oxides of sulfurs. And particulate matters is also the dust particle that can be deposited in our lungs during the inhaling the bad quality of air. So the carbon monoxide emissions. So carbon monoxide emissions is also increasing. So BS6 cannot control too much the carbon monoxide emissions because number of vehicles is increasing day by day too rapidly. So we have to invent some much more advanced type of catalytic converter to reduce carbon monoxide to carbon dioxides. So without a good quality of catalytic converter, we cannot remove the carbon monoxide from the engine pollutants. The hydrocarbon is also soot particle. This is basically emits from the diesel engines. Petrol engine or gasoline engine also emits the hydrocarbon, but diesel engine emits much more amount of hydrocarbons from the tailpipe. So hydrocarbon is also reduced by catalytic converter. One more thing, the catalytic is basically two types of catalytic converter. One is two-way catalytic converter, another is three-way catalytic converter. So two-way catalytic converter can only reduce the carbon monoxide and hydrocarbon from the exhaust gases. But in case of three-way catalytic converter, we can reduce carbon monoxide, hydrocarbon, and also oxides of nitrogen or NOx. And we can use the some catalyst in catalytic converter like platinum, palladium. These two types of catalyst, these two catalysts are used in two-way catalytic converter. But in case of three-way catalytic converter, rhodium is used as a catalyst in three-way catalytic converter. Now we can see the hydrocarbon emissions. In 2001, the hydrocarbon emission is near about 600 kiloton per year, but now at 2021 we are standing here the 1000 kiloton per year. It will almost constant in upcoming next 30 years as per the survey and the prediction of the TERI. Now oxides of sulfur. Oxides of sulfur is also emit from engines, and it is you can see here the green color is the non-road diesel, means the agriculture purpose use, household purpose use, industrial use. These uses will be increased from 2021. You can see here, but diesel or gasoline SOx emissions will decrease day by day. The public the public transport of the India, it's equipped with effective system to meet their demand for mobility. Yeah. So public transport is also very rapidly fast growing in India, fast growing sector in India. The emissions of different pollutants from on-road vehicles in India are allowed based on the district-wise vehicular population in India. The district-wise emissions are used to allocate emissions, and the grid resolution of 36 by 36 kilometers square. 36 kilometers square. The national highways of India carry 40% of total traffic, and 40% of the emissions are allotted at the national highways, digesting using geographical information system or GIS. So geographical information system will be more more important things to control any vehicle or the getting information of any vehicle. So that is also very important and future opportunity for our India. You can see the improvement quality of the fuel here. So I'm giving here a chart at the time of 94. The low leaded grade quality of fuel lead content was very low, and after that you can see that now at the time of 1994 the leaded percentage was the 0.15 gram per liter. That is the at the time of 1994. After that the so many improvements over there. You can see the in 2000 unleaded only. So lead was also decreasing from 94, 94.15, 95.013, and after that in 99 or 2000 the fuel quality is unleaded fuel. 96 or 2000, 96, 2000 the benzene has introduced to the fuel, and after now 21, 2021 and 29, the percentage of sulfur is also very low, that is 0.001%. Okay, so percentage of sulfur is also decreased day by day to improve our fuel quality. That is also the very important for our fuel quality. And the current state of the air quality, the government India has notified the BS6 fuel than those recommended the BS and those recommended by the Central Pollution Control Board and also ARAI. And one more thing, vehicle management should also improve to reduce the pollution in our country, because without controlling the vehicular traffic or the system, you cannot reduce the pollutions. Okay, so management, trafficking management is also very important to reduce the vehicular norms. And you have to testing all kinds of vehicles at a regular times of interval to their, and also monitoring their air quality emitted from the engines, that also very important. Okay, so now how to improve the vehicle management. It could be better to set up the adequate number of well equipped centralized inspection center in the every city or every district, most probably every city. That will improve the vehicle monitoring management system in place of the exciting decentralized the centered or one on or maybe electricity center. It should be decentralized, and it should be set up in different zone of every district. This limited number of inspection centers should be closely monitored by the respective state transport department for quality assurance. So state transport department should monitor these centers very closely, so they can take steps against the fraud cases. So it should, I think it should be quarterly quarterly testing or checkup system should be implemented instead of annual testing of a vehicle, because it it can help or monitor the every vehicle after a short time of interval. The total investment required for establishment of inspection centers to all the vehicles is estimated near about 7,300 crores. The annual testing charges of 100 rupees to 400 rupees per vehicle for different category of the vehicle should recover this cost within the next 2 years or 3 years. So it is a survey that if government invests near about 7,500 crores for different vehicle testing, and the government will charge 100 rupees to 400 rupees for every for different kind of vehicle, the investment cost will be returned within 2 to 3 years. And there is a need of an used vehicle program to check the ensure to check the vehicle, that it ensure that the vehicle is completely in running condition, good condition, and not emits too much pollutions. And the testing can be initiated at the central level to assess the compliance of in-house vehicles of different manufacturers with the type of approvals norms. Now I am telling one more time regarding the NOx emissions, hydrocarbon emissions, particulate matter emissions, and also the carbon monoxide emissions. So NOx, PM2, carbon monoxide, and hydrocarbon. This is these three and four constituents are very important to or play a major role in the pollutions. As I know, as I told you before that the peak combustion temperature and fuel quality, these two type of factor or parameters are very important parameters for the vehicular or the vehicular pollution. Now, NOx, if we increase the peak combustion temperature, the carbon monoxide and the hydrocarbon emissions are decreased or dropped, and carbon and oxides of nitrogen emissions are increased. And in case we rise the peak combustion temperature, the car NOx emission is increased, and hydrocarbon and carbon monoxide emissions are decreased. So, to reducing the NOx emission, EGR is also a very important part. EGR, what will do EGR? EGR is basically exhaust gas recirculation. As we know that the increase of increase of peak combustion temperature means the increase of NOx and decrease of carbon monoxide and hydrocarbon. So if we drop the peak combustion temperature, that means the NOx emission will reduce. For that case, the some unreacted gas has to send our combustion chamber. Unreacted gas means you can send the inert gas there, like argon, neon, helium, krypton. That inert gas can send in your peak in your combustion chamber, which cannot take places with combustion, and it can reduce the peak combustion temperature. It added only the volume, but not taking any combustion places. So it will generally drop the peak combustion temperature and also reduce the NOx emissions. But if we supply the neon, argon, helium, we have to carry one extra cylinder for that. So that is also the cost. That is also an addition of cost, and also you have to make a separate tank or cylinder for the inert gas. That is also a problem. So for that, exhaust gas, we think that exhaust gas is very suitable for reducing the peak combustion temperature. We cool the exhaust gas by intercooler and send it to the exhaust chamber, uh, send it to the combustion chamber. So what will happen? The already burned gas, exhaust gas means already burned gas, it cannot take places in combustion. So it only added the volume in combustion and drops the peak combustion temperature in the engine or the peak combustion temperature. So the NOx is also decreased in that process. Okay. So this is our today's lecture complete. Now next classes I'm discussing about the another topics. Okay, thank you.